Kenya has recently made significant strides in establishing a structured framework for carbon projects through the Climate Change Carbon Markets Regulations 2024. The World Bank has published a carbon market guidebook specifically for Kenyan enterprises. Despite Kenya's commitment to scaling carbon markets, participation remains concerted, with most credits issued by a few developers. Many enterprises lack understanding of how to develop and monetize carbon credits effectively. I spoke to climate expert Molly Brown from Ban, and here is that excerpt.
We've done about 1 million clean cook stoves in Kenya, and what we know from independent, academic, randomized control trial research is that for every stove we distribute, families save about $120 per year in fuel bills. They experience a statistically significant improvement in their health outcomes. They save an hour a day of cooking time or maybe collecting fuel wood time. And it represents the best return on investment that a family can make. So if you're someone cooking with charcoal every day, buying a jikokoa or an Ecoa char stove means that you can save money every week on your fuel bills while saving the environment and while cutting indoor air pollution. Cooking is something that people do every day, often many times a day, and it can be, for some, easy to overlook. And for others, cooking is a huge part of their life, right? Either they're collecting wood or they're going out to buy their tins of charcoal. And what we see is that if you can help people cook on something that is cleaner, faster, more efficient, that can really change the people who are cooking's lives. And let's be honest, it's normally the ladies, right? Yeah, so we can save about 2 tons of wood per family per year, which is obviously a lot. And what we know in Kenya is that charcoal is one of the big drivers of deforestation. And if we can help people cook with less charcoal, or even better, cook with no charcoal at all by switching to electric cooking, then we can really start to help protect Kenya's forests. Kenya has just passed the carbon market regulation about 2 weeks ago, which is very exciting. That provides the framework for carbon trading. That will create a new carbon registry of all the projects in Kenya, and it will mean that the government can really track what's happening in the market and also start to trade those credits through the new Article 6 framework, which is the global framework where countries can buy carbon credits from each other. And that means that Kenya as a government can benefit financially, but it also means that projects like ours can raise finance from international investors to, in our case, subsidize the cost of stoves. So our wood stoves should cost maybe $40, $50. We distribute them for 500 shillings. So there's a really massive subsidy for communities that they can benefit from on day one. Yeah, I think it's important that everybody understands what it means, what the benefits can be, but also what the risks can be. If you're a carbon project like ours, we do local stakeholder engagement, and everyone who buys a stove, we have a conversation with them about carbon and how it works. The idea being that everyone who gets a stove understands that they have received a carbon subsidy on day one, and that carbon subsidy comes from an investor, and we will have to repay that investor, obviously, with the carbon trading that comes later. So that's how our projects work, but it depends on the project. Solar homes are different, forestry projects are different, land use projects are different, mangroves are different. Every project needs to be having those conversations with their participants. Yeah, I think it's all about technology. So at Burn, we started really as an engineering company. We have a huge research and development design team based out in Ruiru, and they are constantly making the stoves better and better. So the latest model, a world-beating, we can do 70% thermal efficiency for the charcoal stoves, which is just so much better than even our previous version and the version before and the version before. Like every year it gets better. And more excitingly, we now have our Ecoa induction cook stoves, where we're helping people cook with electric, and that's really exciting. I think families really appreciate the cook stoves that we provide. It helps people save money, it helps people save time, and there's a kind of real, clear, tangible benefit. Switching to electric cooking is very exciting. We've got lots of families now in Kenya cooking with electricity. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's much cleaner, there's no smoke. So we see that on a kind of individual level, people really get it. They really understand, and they enjoy using our products. On a government level, we've seen lots of support from the Ministry of Energy. There's a new Kenyan cooking strategy which is coming out, which is very exciting around kind of how we can shift away from biomass fuels or basic kind of cooking technologies towards more improved technologies like the jikokoa, as I mentioned, which has much higher thermal efficiency, and then how we can switch to cleaner fuels like electricity.
Thank you very much, Molly. And that is a conversation on matters to do with the clean cooking, how we can preserve our environment. But after this short commercial break, we shall be having a discussion on matters to do with the counterfeit problem that we continue to experience in the country and in